We're really excited about what some of the stuff our partner Ask.com is doing. Ask is doing some really interesting universal search things. They arguably invented the concept of universal search before it got popular with some of the bigger players. And they've sort of taken it a further step recently, and they're doing more integration and not just video, but they'll bring in all different types of formats into their universal search results in the near future. So the other interesting player, of course, is Ramp, that used to be known as Everyzing, and then before that Podzinger. And they are a enterprise player at this stage, licensing technology to other players. Again, an interesting area, focusing really on speech only, but doing a good job of that niche. Whereas I think what we've found is that with a consumer search solution, you need to have the breadth. Sometimes people are searching for speech, but sometimes they're searching for something visual or something facial oriented, and that's where our technology helps.
What do you see in terms of marketers who are actually creating videos with the goal of having it being discoverable?
The interesting thing that we've seen from the point of view of being a publisher, if you will, is that we get approached by agencies all the time who would like to essentially buy sponsored slots for one of those videos, a video that's been created to become viral. And what they try to do is kickstart it on a site like ours. And it can work very, very well. So we've done a few. We did one for Motorola a couple of years ago now, which was a very cool Razor ad which had sort of a Matrix-like look and feel to it, and they placed it in front of a number of sort of entertainment movies and trailers and that kind of thing. And because it was quite sci-fi in nature and so on, the people who are searching for those kinds of videos really like the ad, and they tend to just sort of send it on to their friends and everything else. And that apparently had a great pickup rate. And for the number of impressions they actually bought, they delivered many, many more times those impressions in viral views, which is fantastic. I would basically say though that it really depends on the content and the ad itself. We've also seen, and I won't mention any names because I don't want to embarrass anyone, but I've seen similar attempts that have really failed. And the reason for that's pretty obvious if you watch the ads, because they're just not that much fun or they're not that interesting, and therefore there's nothing particularly viral about them. So that's what we always say to the agencies. We're very happy to work with them to try and do this kind of thing, but it's really important that the creative is right, because if the creative isn't interesting to the target audience, then they aren't going to pick it up and run with it.
What's the technological challenges that you see that you hope that you or the industry solves in the next couple of years?
Yeah, so for about 4 years now, our byline, if you will, our slogan has been the remote control for online TV. And I think we've done a really great job of delivering that on the PC or the laptop. Today, if you want to know what's on in online TV and you don't know where to go to watch it, Blinkx is the place to go to, and we will find that place for you very, very quickly. The next step, I think, is the TV itself. As we all get more and more sophisticated television sets that plug directly into our internet connections, as more and more of us use things like the Nintendo Wii and the Sony PlayStation, the Microsoft Xbox to access the web, and as some of us buy dedicated boxes, and fewer of us are doing this today, but things like Apple TV and the Roku box and the Boxy box and so on, we're going to see, I think, more and more people access online video through a traditional television. For online TV on your TV to be as good as online TV on your computer, it has to be as open, it has to be searchable, it has to be navigable and easily accessible in the same way that it all is on your browser. And to do that well, you've got to figure out the technology challenges, because certain formats play, others don't. You've got to figure out the user interface challenges, because what you do with a remote control is very different to what you do with a keyboard and a mouse. And there's just a whole bunch of sort of issues like that. And that's, I think, the next big step for Blinkx and really for the whole of the online video industry. If it's really going to deliver on the potential that people thought about and sort of believed in 4 or 5 years ago, we've got to make this step into the TV set and make it well.